All right.
Thank you guys for your time. Who do I have with me today?
I'm Steve Straub with Musick Roofing.
Steve Straub,
Yeah.
and we all know Alex,
Yeah.
the man. I'm Don Burns. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you, COhatch, for letting me use this room. And so you work for Musick. You work for Mike Musick. How did they start?
Well, I think originally Mike started music construction back in, 1999. We made the transition to primarily music roofing back in 2017.
2017.
So, yep.
And his primary business now is putting roofs on houses.
Yep. So in 2017, he transitioned to just primarily roofing. And so I think there's just so many moving parts in general construction. With roofing, it's just it's a lot simpler. You take a roof off and put one on, and so that's really where our focus is now, is just the roofing.
Just the roofing, and you provide every service, gutters, and anything roofing you guys need.
Well, and so we'll be specific. Gutters aren't roofing, so we actually don't do gutters.
Oh, wow.
So we don't do soffit. We don't do siding, but we do just the roofs.
That's fantastic.
Mike will usually tell you that for him, what he kind of did was he said, look, if these are all the different parts that I can do as a general contractor, let me find the one thing that I can do the best and just really focus my trade and provide the best possible service instead of spreading himself too thin, which is what I think he was starting to feel like he was doing prior to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me more about the person who is selling a home and they need a new roof. What is the process, if you will?
Yeah. So what we do at Musick Roofing is we provide what we call just the paid at closing process. So the scenario is happening quite a bit these days where you have a seller and their house is for sale. They get under contract with a future buyer, and as the future buyer is getting everything in place, including the home insurance for that particular house that they're about to buy, if it has a roof that is an older roof, a lot of times these insurance companies are saying, congratulations, but we're not going to insure this roof. And so that's where we come in, because a lot of times sellers don't have $15,000 laying around the house, but there's still quite a bit of equity in these homes. So we will come in and put the roof on before closing so that everything can go smoothly, and then we will get paid by the proceeds of the equity in the home after closing.
Wow. That includes like the supply. You get all the supplies, all the labor, the roof ready to be certified, ready to sell, and then you take the check after they close?
Yeah, we're in a good situation. The Lord's blessed us to be a debt-free company. And so I feel like we're able to provide that for our customers. And it's just been a blessing for both the customer and us, because obviously we're getting work from it. But I know that we've had some great feedback in that area because, like I said, roofs are expensive. And so anything that we can do to help the seller, but also our real estate friends, our realtor friends, get these homes closed so that they can make money and we can make money.
That is absolutely, I think that's an advantage.
Yeah, in a similar vein, kind of again in that same mindset of how do we provide the best service when somebody is negotiating for a sale. We've kind of shifted away from the industry standard, which is to always charge for all the wood and things afterwards. What you'll hear Mike or even Steve sometimes say is, neither God nor Superman knows how much wood rot is under a roof until you tear it off. We've stopped charging after the fact. So we include any wood price ahead of time. This way, for a homeowner or for a realtor or whomever, they look at that price and it's not going to change. They have a little bit more assurance to know as they're negotiating for, a closing. Hey, if we've allotted $15,000, Musick Roofing says they can do it for $15,000. 2 weeks later, they're not going to find out that just became $17,000 or 16 and a half. It will stay that same price, and we don't nickel and dime them later.
That is
yeah.
Because that's what, as a consumer, one of the worst things you can do is change the price on me.
Sure.
I despise that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll cancel the whole thing and find somebody else. Sometimes I get so frustrated.
Yeah.
So knowing that what you buy, what the estimate says is what you're going to pay. Sleep good at night.
Right.
With Musick Roofing.
Yeah, because there's a lot of awesome roofing companies around this area, and we all use the same products. none of us are manufacturing our own shingles or our own metal. We're all using the exact same thing. We have to then differentiate ourselves in our communication and our service, and the actual the care that we provide to the homeowners or the realtors or whomever.
Well, there's another company that does the same thing. Publix sells
Yeah.
everything grocery stores sell. They provide the service.
Right.
Service is
Yeah.
immediately. I pay attention to the service.
Right. It makes a huge difference for sure. And unfortunately, to good and bad, like at Publix compared to some of the other ones, there's a price for that. Publix is a little bit more. And if you get 5 estimates, we can't guarantee that we're going to be the cheapest one, but we try to make sure we're in line with everybody else and we're fair and we're staying within the market. We can't race to the bottom, but yeah, it's because we want to provide a different level of experience. And
Well, it sounds reassuring to know that I don't have the cash up front for the
Right.
roof. I know I'm going to get the best quality
Mhm.
with Musick Roofing, and I don't have to pay up front. So I know I've got this equity build up into my home.
Yeah.
It needs a new roof. I want to sell. Get the best. Why not get the best quality
right,
at the same time?
right.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and as much as we can, because obviously, real estate isn't every roof we do. We do plenty of residential and even commercial, but homes that are just somebody who, whether it's because insurance told them they need to get another roof, or they just see the stains on the roof as the writing on the wall to tell them it's time to get one. We try to provide as similar of an experience for them as possible, and so we don't have any deposits on any of our homes. On a traditional one, we try to get paid once the job is done, obviously at completion. But even in those cases, we're not taking a deposit. We're not going to use your money to pay for your materials. We have everything prepared on our side, ready to go. And then once we're done and, you've had a good experience.
What about like warranties or services? Like come with a warranty for a year or anything?
Yeah. So we provide a 10-year workmanship.
10 year?
Yes, sir. Yep. Particularly on shingle, it's a little different if it's metal or if it's a flat roof. But our standard is a 10-year workmanship warranty, and that's on our labor. So if we drop the ball somewhere, because we're like anybody,
That's
we
right.
definitely make mistakes, but we want to make sure that we make it right. And so we explain Steve says it all the time. We're married to the jobs we do, and so we want to make sure we make it right. So we do a 10-year on that. All of the products have their own warranties as well, but we don't put a lot of weight in those necessarily.
Florida's a different animal.
Yeah.
Most shingle companies offer at least a 30-year warranty on their shingles, some up to 50 years, some say limited lifetime warranties. Unfortunately, in the state of Florida, we don't have much say-so in
sun
that.
is brutal.
Yeah, and now insurance companies are stepping in, and they really want Florida homeowners to change their roofs out every 15 years if it's a shingle roof.
15 years.
Yeah. So so that's why it's hard to sell the manufacturer warranties, because the 30, 40, 50 limited lifetime really doesn't matter much in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
And so we just want to be honest with people. Until something changes with insurance, you probably need to be ready to get a new roof around that 15-year mark.
That's wonderful. Yeah, because I know that this insurance thing that Florida's having and citizens and all this is just a challenge for everybody.
It is.
Yeah.
I remember my summer, right after I graduated high school, I didn't have nothing to do, what to do, and I answered an ad in the paper for a helper on construction, and got out there and worked with the guy for a year. The last 3 months, he said, we're going to build a house. So I got to put nails, 16-penny nails, and made a frame, and I got to put the roof together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really kind of funny thing. Funny story. This kid shows up. He wanted some help. I wasn't enough. He kind of this guy. The guy shows up, and he instantly goes to the top of the roof and starts putting in shingles. He had lied on his resume.
Oh boy.
And he said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm putting the roof on." I had no experience. He just lied his way to the top.
Yeah.
And right off, get out.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. Well, I know now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, is there anything else with musicroofing.com?
Yep. Yes. Musicroofing.com is our website. We're actually currently revamping that. So if you go there, today, in a few months, it may look a little different. We're trying to get some of that a little bit more up to date, stay with the times. That's the downside to having a bunch of roofers and blue collar workers trying to figure out some of their social media is sometimes it takes a little while to catch up. But we try to stay active on social media. We're putting a good presence in at First Friday downtown and everything now.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to make sure we're getting our faces around the community here.
That is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, the social media is nothing compared to the quality of work that you guys do. I mean, just getting the lead is one thing, but the service and the making sure that you can sleep at night knowing that well.
Yeah.
So visit musicroofing.com.
Yep, and all our social medias is just Music Roofing. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, all of the platforms. So
any estimates we give are completely free up front. We don't charge to do that. We're happy. It's like anything, right? We're always happy to give our opinion.
What about patching a roof?
We do repairs. They're a little tougher for us to warranty, but we can do repairs of any size pretty much. We do high slope, low slope, whether it's like a true flat roof, we can do those. Shingle, metal, the flat roofs have TPO or bitumen is another product. We do tile roofs. Even within metal, they have ones that look more like a shingle. They have ones that are the full panels, and then they have the clamped standing seam. We get to do a little bit of all of it, which is, again, that's one of the nice parts about Florida is there's just a little bit of everything here.
And knowing you guys know what you're doing, that's it.
Yeah,
that's the fantastic part.
We try to we actually are very intentional in our office about continued education and making sure we're staying ahead of the curve with that stuff.
Yeah.
Our crews love to learn, and they're great.
And I know Mike is big in our community. Mm-hmm. So he wants to maintain his service and his reputation.
Yeah.
As a member of our community.
We frequently make that joke. We like it here in Lakeland. The last thing we want to do is get ran out of town for poor workmanship or anything else. Like we've set our anchors. We're here to stay.
Yeah. I had my roof replaced in 2018. Right after, I guess there was a storm, 17.
That was
Hurricane Irma.
Yeah. And I got that. Your roof, it blew off, blew a lot of the stuff. It was an older roof. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, the insurance paid it and everything went smooth. Yeah. The city does good with their permits and everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for your time. Tell Mike I said hi.
Absolutely. We will. We'll get him down here next.
God bless you guys. Thank you for your time.
For sure.
Thanks.